Carl, welcome to this week's edition of In the Dugout. We'll just start off by you talking us through the bib you're currently mastering.
This is the launch we had last night of the Don's Challenge 1000, and we're challenging ourselves to do 1,000 season tickets, and if we get to the magic number, season tickets next year will be £30. Unbelievable gesture from the club, and it just shows how far the club's come. I mentioned last night we're in a real good financial position. The commercial team's done really well last year for us, so we thought we'd try and give something back on the back end of the fans panel, which when we had these fans panel meetings, the thing letting us down as a club was the attendance and the atmosphere. So Sean Lockwood come up with a proposal to rip the season ticket script up, and we had a good look at how we could do that sort of stuff, and we thought this was the best way to do it. And we get to the 1,000, like 30 quid for a season ticket. It's cheap, and that's what we were going to plan to do, and I hope we get that. All kids and Donny on top of that come for free, all under 16s, which again, if we get the attendance up, then that will take care of the atmosphere. So those were the stories and the messages that kept coming back from the fans panel. I think everyone was delighted last night with the signings. Everyone went away really happy, and it gives you a great sense of pride when especially we didn't have the best of seasons last year, and we changed coach midway through, and when I went away last night, certainly I thought, well, for all the heartache and the hard times you have and all that, it's nights like last night that really make it all worthwhile.
And given the ticket prices, it's a little bit of something different, isn't it? I think that's what stands out to a lot of people. Seeing a lot of people on social media saying how much of a good thing it is, and the simple fact is, the more season tickets we sell, the cheaper it will be for fans. So if people, I think Sean said last night, if people have got family, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers who don't necessarily tend to like rugby league, if they sell 3 or 4 more season tickets, that might take it up to the next bracket, and then everyone saves another £10.
Well, the real pleasing aspect is I've seen stuff on the Facebook and on the Twitter of fans who've not been for a few years saying, well, I'm on my way to the keep moat to get my season ticket, I'm back. And these are people we know have not been for a few years. That's what we want. We do want the old hardcore fans to come back, and it generates an atmosphere, as an ex-player, when you go out to warm up and there's a bit of music on, there's a bit of a crowd buzzing, or it gets you going. So that's what we're trying to create here, trying to do something different. The good thing about our club is we don't owe a penny to nobody, and that's been the same for quite some time now. But what we have done is we've really got the back office and the off-field good. If you look at some clubs with their owners, they'll go and plough all their cash straight into the strengthening team. They go and win everything, and then they disappear and the club's in trouble. Well, we've tried to do it the right way and put the foundations in place, and have a real good business model where, if anything was to happen to me tomorrow, the club would still go on, no problem. And that's what we've tried to do. We've took a little bit of pain. That's no excuse for the last 2 seasons, because we wanted to get promoted, and no one more so than myself, and so it was hard. But I suppose if you get things right, and sometimes you got to take a little pain along the way. But now we can focus on these sort of initiatives: the season ticket, the kids, have a little bit more on the field, and get the on-field stuff right, and the entertainment right. And I'm not saying we're bulletproof, with the media, the marketing, the commercial, we're all doing, I believe they're doing a cracking job for the club. We've come a hell of a long way in the last 3 or 4 years, but we still got work to do. What I feel my job is to make sure we've got a club here to support for many more years when we're all gone. And if we carry on adopting the same model and the same strategy and the same things we the discipline we have not to go and just edge that bit more for that one player. We stick within our financial boundaries, then the club will be fine. It's when you start getting carried away with yourself and trying to exert yourself, just stretch yourself that little bit too far, that you can find yourself getting in trouble. And that, we've got to be proud of this club at the moment, because it's 10 years, I'd say, not a murmur of money trouble, whereas previous to that we were, every other year we were in bother. And it's taken probably this long for old supporters to trust us again, because they've been let down so many times when they buy a season ticket and halfway through the year, bang, the club's in money trouble. So I said last night, we normally call them meetings when we're in trouble. And it was a pleasure last night to be able to have them all there sitting relaxed and saying there's no money troubles. So it was great.
And a lot of season tickets were sold at the season launch, weren't they, as well? And even more in the day or so after as well. That must have been really pleasing to see how many people flocked to buy the tickets once the prices were announced.
Yeah, they were queuing up. I thought we were playing at Wembley or something like that, the way they were all queuing up to buy the tickets. And it was good to see, and to have queues in the line there buying their ticket, and actually wanting to come and shake your hand to thank you and all that. I'll take it all day long, because I know it doesn't last for long before they're going to get into me again. So it's good. Happy. As you can see, the T-shirt, we've had the Mayor Ros Jones and Joe Miller and all other dignitaries from the council supporting it today out on Twitter and holding the shirt up. We've got partners and people in Donny, all we're actually the talk of the Donny at the moment. I've been in a Team Doncaster meeting all morning, and they're all saying, what's going on, and we've seen all this stuff about your season tickets. And the proudest thing for me to say to them, with Team Donny, and we want to capture the supporters for the future, and the Team Doncaster, we're all in this together stuff, was me being able to say, well, all the kids are coming for free next year as well. So we're not only are we doing a good season ticket price, but Ros was really impressed when we says, the kids are all coming free. That's the way to do it. That's so. For her to say that to me, it was really satisfying.
And we announced the new signings, the permanent deals and the loans last night. We'll just talk about the 3 permanent signings that we've got that are our players: Ryan Boyle, Connor Bauer and Liam Harris. What do those 3 players bring to the squad? I know Rich spoke about it a little bit last night. Why do those 3 players, why are they the ones that stand out?
Oh, well, Rich is all about culture and the way he wants to play, and so he sees something in them players why he wants them here. I've started to sort of say it's for the coach to talk about his team, and we'll try, and as we go along we'll do that. We'll get Rich on and to talk about the players. All my job is the players that he wants is for me to try and get them and do my best to get them for him. Liam Harris was one he was really gunning for, and we beat off a lot of competition. I even had a text last night off a Super League owner saying well done on Liam. I asked our coach to have a look at him, so that was really pleasing. Ryan Boyle, not only will he bring something to us on the field, we've spoke to some good people in the game, and he really adds a lot to the team and the culture and all that off the field, and he'll come and be a leader for us, and we're looking forward to him setting some culture at this club. Richard's really strict on that, and he wants his players to perform a certain way, and hence the reason he's signed the ones he has. Connor Bauer, we've heard nothing but good things from Hull about him, so we're looking forward. We know he'll come and get stuck in, and the other boys on the season-long loan from Hull, if they were on the open market, I'm sure Richard would have signed them. So we're I think they went down well. All the signings went down well. nobody from what I've seen has said anything, and I just think everyone's itching to go. You know, after we played at Toronto last year, the boys were all saying to me they couldn't wait for next year to start, and then on the other side, a lot of the regular boys were saying to me, "Gee, how good were those two? You know, Jordan Lane and Jez Litton. Now for them to know they're coming, it's they're more than happy for them to be in our side than playing against us."
And we're a week closer to the World Cup starting now, the Rugby League World Cup. You mentioned it last week on Dugout. Have you seen much more publicity in terms of the marketing for the event just yet?
I have, and I've seen a new rugby league app that's come out that I've got involved in, our league I think it is, and that the RFL's put out, and there's some real good interviews on there, and I think they're going to stream some games on there. So, you know, I might have just give them a little bit of a knock to wake them up a little bit, and then they've launched all this stuff. So put that down to me. So hopefully won't be too long before I'm running the RFL. See, we're gonna have some fun, don't we, on this thing, instead of be serious all the time. But no, it's there has been quite a bit more this last few weeks, and we did say maybe they'll wait, you know, well, 10 days or so before and start building it up. But there is a bit more. I've heard there's heaps, and back over in New Zealand and Australia, which you'd expect. It's just we were a little bit slow off the mark, but we gave them a nudge last week, I think, and they started to put some stuff on.
Cheers, Carl.
Cheers.